Hey guys, Nick. Thanks for tuning into Long Island Wargaming for this small battle report, as you probably read in the title. Before I get into that, I just want to say this is actually dedicated to Memorial Day, which is, if you're in the States, we try to remember the troops that fell serving our country's armed forces. But whatever country you're from, because I know you guys are watching from all over the world, don't forget to take a moment and just remember those who served our countries to preserve our freedoms, our rights, our liberties. So, uh, you know, don't ever forget. So anyway, getting into this game, 750 points is something that me and Rich did, and I mentioned this in another video, but this is something we did at the tail end of 7th edition because we liked playing small games and we were able to get a whole bunch out in a single night, and we were able to take choices that normally weren't as optimal in a more competitive game. So that's why we do these small games. And we also did tournaments where we'd put down 5-10 bucks, 10 people, and we were able to knock out about 10 games in a single day because it's so small, and do a little tournament. So let's get into it. I have Zinch, so this is my magic. I rolled up Gleam Magic, which I wasn't too thrilled about. I got Infernal Gateway, which is fine, and one of my other spells I got rid of to take Blue Fire. I do have the Spell Familiar, and at this point we only have level 2 casters because that's all we can afford, so I do have that extra spell, but I believe the Familiar allows me to reroll ones of a channeling, or it adds to channeling, whichever. Zinch and the Familiar is a nice attempt at getting an extra channel dice in there. So my cousin Kyle brought Wissons and the Amber Spear, and as you can tell, he's taking Beastmen. And this is a 4x4 table, and as you can see, everything's not painted either, so apologies, but we usually don't play these armies, so it's fun to get something out. So for my list, I fulfill core with dogs and a Nurgle chariot. I have a Nurgle Gorbeast chariot. I decided to bring 3 Dragon Ogres with 2 hand weapons. I have Zanch. That's my level 2 caster. That's Zanch, Blessed Burner of the Forest, where during our 750 campaigns, he would just destroy Wood Elves left and right, because that was one of my opponents regularly, and I would just burn down all their forests. So that's our special character, Zanch. And we've got the Chaos Spawn of Nurgle, I think, and then the dogs. For Kyle's side, he's got a unit of Beastigore and a unit of Gore, and a level 2 caster chilling in the back there. So the Beastman units are pretty big. He gets first turn, so he goes ahead and moves to deal with the fact that I put everything on one side. As you can tell, I brought a pretty funky army. I have no infantry, so my caster's hiding out over here in, well, he's not hiding, he's running around in plain sight. But the board save wasn't too encouraging for Kyle, so he decided to Amber Spear the spawn instead, and goes ahead and kills him. Also, during his movement, he decided to put his caster into the unit, as per my recommendation, because I told him I was just going to freaking blue fire him off the table. So here's my movement. Dragon Ogre's taking up the flank, and the chariots don't move too quickly. But, man, my caster just got to chill out. He can't hide anywhere. Winds of Magic, I roll up 10. I get Infernal Gateway off, but he scrolls that, and then I kill a bunch of Beastigore with the blue fire spell. So now they've got Warp Flame, which is annoying, so now they've got a 6-up regen. Back to the Beastmen side, my cousin decides to go for something a little silly here. He decides once the Dragon Ogres get to the Gore, it's just going to be game because I'm going to eat them up. So he goes for a risk here, gamble, which is just his style. But he takes the caster out of the unit and gets it into the side arc of the Dragon Ogres in order to Amber Spear straight through them. And I, of course, go ahead and deny that, and now his caster is left wide open for me to cast Magical on or charge. Good attempt, fun attempt, but now you got a chariot coming at you. So the regular Nurgle chariot runs in. And here's the rest of my movement. The dogs go up to chaff up those Gore, and the Dragon Ogres are getting ready to make that charge. Over here, I kill his caster no problem, which is funny. The Beastigore don't go anywhere, which is not good. No panic tests failed, and now my chariot's ready to get destroyed. So he moves his 2 blocks in against the dogs and the chariots. He makes quick work of the dogs. But to my surprise, he's not able to kill the chariot outright, even with his great weapons. I'm assuming because it's freaking Nurgle. And even with his Primal Fury and all that bullshit, he was unable to kill him, so I run away and he doesn't chase me. Doesn't catch me, I should say. He chases, but doesn't catch me. Gore Beast goes in against the Beastigore, and the Dragon Ogres will go in against the Gore, so this should be fun. Zanch just kind of moves around the forest. So I don't kill as many as I thought. I kill 5 guys, which is still good. I take a wound myself because my toughness is 6 and he doesn't wound me as easily as he possibly could have. But what ends up saving him is the frickin' warp flame. He has this regen save. I think at this point a 5 up because I was able to cast twice on them. So he's got 5 up regen, which is so stupid. But he stays because he's stubborn. And up here I kill a whole bunch of guys. I take a wound, which is not fun. But he's stubborn, so we stick there. The Gorby's chariot ends up getting killed, and then when it comes back to my turn, I go and charge right on in with this chariot that rallied. The Gore break from combat from the Dragon Ogres and they run away, but they run too far, so I'm actually not going to be able to finish them off with the dogs as I plan to do because I combat reform with the Dragon Ogres so they can face the Beast Gore. I don't remember how all this panned out. It was pretty interesting though because I think he ends up dealing another wound or two to the chariot in his turn, and then when my guys go in, I flank charge them. So these Gore, I think they're strength 6. They should have been killing this chariot, but the fact that he was at -1 to hit with the Nurgle really saved my ass. And it's also a small surface area for the chariot, so he only had a limited amount of attacks. But the next round of combat is scary because the freaking chariot dies, and he actually, I mean, he's got great weapons. He's going to wound the freaking Dragon Ogres no problem. I do a handful of kills, but he still has that 5 up regen, so I don't kill as many as I should, and I actually lose the Dragon Ogre. And he goes ahead and actually reforms successfully to face the Dragon Ogres, and now I'm a little nervous because it's going to be his turn, and Zanch is just chilling there behind this entire combat, so if he actually does enough wounds and I break and he chases me, he might actually catch my caster and end up turning this into a loss for me because I'm pretty sure at this point I won, but now I'm not so sure. Thankfully though, he kills the Dragon Ogres and he doesn't overrun, but he goes 2 inches, and Zanch is still alive, so he's going to be able to run away. Zanch does go and jump around, so he's no longer in line of sight. He does pass his leadership test to March, and now he's just going to sit around and cast magic. Some more Blue Fire and Infernal Gateway kill him. The Gore run off the battlefield, they never rallied. He turns and faces me with like 7 guys left. And with no caster or scroll left, my Infernal Gateway and Blue Fire just blow him off of the freaking field. Which is ironic because they were sitting in a forest. Which, I mean, Zanch is just the blessed burner of the forest. So, hope you guys enjoyed this quick little fun and interesting game and introduction to our character here that usually causes all sorts of havoc. You don't see him because I don't play Warriors, and also I don't think Tzeentch magic is as good as it used to be, obviously. But there might be some more 750 games to come. Who knows? Hopefully you guys enjoy this small change of points values, and I will see you in the next one.